Hey, I want to say thank you for all of the love and the well wishes and the thoughts and everything that you guys have sent to us about Sherman and Sherman not being around on the property anymore. So I wholeheartedly appreciate all of it, and it helped get through at least one day that just sucked beyond belief, or just felt like everything was crashing in. But doing better. No, Sherman has not returned, but I also felt like I needed to, and you deserve to hear as much as I could tell you about what has happened, what we're doing, what we plan on continuing to do, how we even got Sherman in the first place for some of you that might not fully understand all of it, and how I'm feeling about it right now, because honestly, there's a big part of me that's cheering Sherman on. So yeah, felt like I could keep it together enough and come out here and talk to you as honestly as I do all the time. I'm not going to fake things. That's why I've designed my whole platform, whatever you want to call it, if you will, very honest, very open, very conversational. So maybe real messages, real things that happen, things in life that you can ponder. You can be a part of it with me. So, how did I get Sherman in the first place? How did we come about to have Sherman in the first place? I worked across the street at the golf course. I was doing maintenance over there. And at that time, another coworker, and this is a really strange coincidence. This coworker happens to be about 20 years younger than myself. I'm 53. I think he's in his 30s. I'm not exactly sure. And I was introduced to him as somebody who went to the same school I went to. Now that's very strange considering I'm in Arizona. I went to school in California in a very small desert town, and I was in the first graduating class of that high school. So to find out an alumni, a fellow Scorpion, was working with me was strange. It was a weird coincidence, the way life works. It so happens, it turns out that it winds up being this person who one day comes to me, oh my God, look what I found. And he's holding a desert tortoise. Now, because of my background, because of having worked at the Phoenix Zoo and all the education that I have been given, and I believe that's the only reason I even know this, is that desert tortoise are protected and you can't touch them and you can't do anything with them. And I say it that way because I grew up in California and we didn't have them. These are Sonoran desert tortoise. Where I grew up in the desert in California, we did not have them. And I was not aware of that. There are no signs out here. And that's one of the most important things that I want to talk about while I'm talking about this, and the continuum of laws and what you can and can't do, since that seems to be what everyone's talking about at this point. But somehow I was very well aware that you can't touch a desert tortoise. But I can't say that everybody is aware of that. How would they be? It's not like if someone walked up to me and they had a panda bear, and you're like, holy shit. Like, everyone on the planet seems to understand that a panda bear is protected and you can't do anything, and you really get in trouble, and it's cost. And so for some reason, that animal, like, that makes sense. But we have a lot of other animals that are protected, endangered. We're going to lose off this planet. People are not aware of, or the laws surrounding them. Desert tortoise have laws and rules, but I'll be damned if I could find a sign anywhere around here that says that we have them, what the laws are, what to do, or anything else. But I guess the general population is just supposed to know. And when they don't know, they do things like this person that I worked with, and they pick up one. And they come to you excited, and they want to bring it home to their son. They want to have it as a pet. And my heart did the same thing as if he had a panda. I was like, no, you can't. What? And the other people around were, throw it in the lake. They didn't even recognize what that creature was. And he took the tortoise home anyways, regardless of what I had told him. And within a couple of days, brought the tortoise back because he couldn't house this tortoise. They're notoriously hard to take care of. They don't want to be confined. But in my heart, I know you're not supposed to now release them because he's been God knows wherever and touched things, and supposedly they can introduce some kind of diseases or whatever to the population, and that could decimate a population. And so that's, from my understanding, why the laws are in place. Don't touch them. If they've been around other people, whatever, you have to turn them in. When he brought the tortoise back, I knew all that. And I said, give it to me. And I contacted Arizona Game and Fish and did everything I possibly could to make this stupid situation legal. I literally live across the street from where this creature lives. Big parts of me wanted to not call Arizona Fish, Game and Fish, excuse me. Parts of me wanted to just let this creature go. But as you guys know, a huge part of me loves this area, wants to continue doing what I'm doing and being a voice of reason and letting people know what you can and can't do and protect. I have no business not helping in a situation or doing the best that I can. So I contacted Game and Fish, and it was all around that same time that COVID had hit and I was turning into a nonprofit and my life was changing, and it was because of Sherman. Because of all of the things that were happening around him and having the responsibility of this creature, and having worked for the Phoenix Zoo and having been taught that if you can get people to love an animal, make some kind of connection, then maybe they'll change their behavior. We can change things. I learned a lot being at the Phoenix Zoo. I worked with some incredible people. And that's also why I do everything online. They reach out to me. They watch Sherman. They talk, I'll do this, check for this. This might be hard. All the things. And I continue in my quest. And as I'm doing all the things I'm doing, finding out, you need a license for this, you need to do this, and trying to be as law-abiding in it as I can, because the outcome is my voice can continue talking about this amazing desert that I live around. So with that in my heart, I'm going to do it legal. I'm given this tortoise. Okay, what is the best that I can do with the background that I have is to tell everybody about him, tell everybody about his situation, make you fall in love with him, watch him, house him, do all the things that I possibly can do. And I say and that sounds absolutely ridiculous. I've done none of this by myself. My husband, Jay, has been 145% of it with moving rocks and boulders is what it takes to house any kind of tortoise and create the stairs that I'm sitting on and everything else, and support me every step of the way in it. I say I as in the Desert Nature Alliance, as us, as all. It's every day we'd come out and multiple times and check on Sherman when he's not in his burrow, when he's not hibernating. He had his own set schedule, and we knew it, and we didn't announce the days and times and things that he would do. And I'd post things a little bit earlier or later than he'd come out, but to assure you guys he was getting his water and food. And again, like I said, just an overall welfare check. And so those that knew could watch him walk, watch him move, let me know if anything looked like there was anything wrong. Everything I possibly could think of, I made him a calendar. Now, if you think that we made money off of Sherman, it's laughable. I don't think we even sold 12 calendars. I've done everything I can just to make an awareness. This has never been about profit or money. This has been about watching some of the bad behaviors that we all do and how we can correct them and be safer and more mindful and more loving of our environment. And for me, it's my desert, and that's what I've desperately tried to do. But if you think that I was happy housing a wild animal, I wasn't, and my heart hurt, and so did Jay's. No one wants to take an animal who should be free and corral it, but the law told me that no, that's what you're supposed to do. And so you're torn while you're doing it. I watched that happen when I was at the zoo. The reasons why certain animals get placed into zoos sometimes are because of bad human behavior. And at this point, with just tortoise alone, Game and Fish has over 100 of them that now need homes. Felt like things happened in my life as a calling and as a reason, and Sherman came into this light and said, Stacy, talk for me on this. This kind of sucks, and this is where I'm at, and maybe the people that like me are friends, who knows. But I always wanted the best for Sherman. I fell in love with his face. I fell in love with him as a creature. But if his being couldn't do this, I have to cheer him on. There's this part of me right now that's like, please go find a mate. Please be safe. If you can see around behind me, there's acres and acres. I live on 3 acres of desert. There's acres and acres between the next neighbors and washes. There's not, you guys, it's not like you go up and go, oh, have you seen a tortoise? And the reason I haven't done that is because I don't want them to try to pick up a tortoise. What if they pick up the wrong one? And that's ridiculous to even say, because I have been in this particular desert for over 6 years now out here and have never seen a wild tortoise on the trails route. They're amazing at their ability to hide and to adapt and live in this desert safely. And they've done it for a bazillion years. And the DNA is strong. I feel like Sherman was taken from a place that was literally across the street, wherever his home is. I don't know how old Sherman is, any of those things. Plucked up from his home, and now taken away. But close enough to feel it. I can't imagine the stress if I was taken away from my home, but close enough to know if I could just get there. And so I cried on behalf of all of it, of my selfish loss, of not getting to see him in his face and be in his world. I cried at the possibility that any wild creature could have actually taken him out of his home, but there's no sign. I can assure you there is literally no sign. I scoured this open desert, looked under trees, some of the most dangerous stuff that I have ever done, with considering there's snakes out and everything else, but damn it, Sherman might be out there, might be hurt. Terrified I'd find remains. Could I even bear that? It's one thing when you find remains of animals you don't know. So yeah, hours and hours and hours, and set out water and set out food, but my heart said, run, go. I didn't set you free, but I can't argue with it. And it's 4th of July weekend. And as a human, lately, I've questioned a lot of, what does it mean to be free? What does that mean? What are we saying when we're talking about freedom? When our behavior impacts one another so much. I'm begging you guys to help me get signage out and around the area I live and the areas you live that declare the special and protected animals that are there, and how you as a local citizen and everyone else that might be visiting should behave when they see them. I don't think that's asking too much. And it would shift things. And on behalf of Sherman, we could call it Sherman's Law. You could do all kinds of nutty things on behalf of this gorgeous creature who's out there somewhere. I'm convinced he's out there somewhere. Why wouldn't he be? Of course, we will keep looking, and of course, I'll keep it open. And his whole area will be left open. There will be water. There will be food put there every day. Because in the course of us doing that, other animals started to depend on it. There's no water out here. Talk about it all the time. There's no water out here. So simply placing water out, animals come, and I put cameras out so you can see that and so you can fall in love along with us. It wasn't just Sherman. You saw it as coyotes and bobcats and javelinas, and all the way up and down. I see anything from vultures up and down to snakes. It's amazing out here, and it's gorgeous, and it's wonderful, and Sherman is part of it, and I'm part of it, and you become part of it. I'm not Sherman's owner. And that was a hard part of it. And that's why I think I made him more, because I was like, I don't own you. I'm helping, or I'm housing, or I'm doing whatever the law is telling me to do right now. Best I can. I love that little face. And I know you guys did too. And do too. I shouldn't say did. He's out there. And if he comes back, of course, I will let everyone know. And I will, if we see him, videotape him. We'll put some different cameras down here. But I guess, like I said, I'm also asking you to reflect on just the word freedom and what that means, when you fight for your freedom, when Sherman was fighting for freedom, when you feel that you don't have that say or voice. Losing Sherman on the property and him feeling lost made me connect to people in just a minor way that have lost a person. And that fear and devastation and madness that takes over you, my heart hurt for them as well. So yeah, one incident in your life does have that ripple effect. And if you explain to people and talk to people and let them reflect on it, on should we do things or shouldn't we do things, or should we provide things for animals, should we not, is the amount of homes going up affecting things, not affecting things, the water, all of it. I hope, I know we've made a difference by connecting with Sherman. Sherman's magic. It came into my life magically, and he left the same way. And I'd say the same for you guys. When I say I, it's us. It's help me get signs that say these animals are protected. They live in this area. Please don't touch them. Contact somebody in your area if necessary. If they're hurt, please slow down on the roads. And when you come out to places that are this beautiful and this hot and this dangerous, stay safe. Check in with those of us that love it. I'll answer any questions I have for you. I'll give you any help. But no, I'm not going to stop being the voice for out here. For a moment, I said, I don't know how I can go on. And then I realized, how can I not? It's the whole point. Wishing you love from Gold Canyon, Arizona. I'm sure I'll watch this back and maybe think of things that I missed or wished I'd have said, but I'll get there. I'll get there. Talk to you soon. Thank you guys so much.